Hello everyone, welcome back here to one more video in the Super Acadêmico and Tapaulho Azul channels. And today I'm going to do a fast video, actually, less than 5 minutes I think, because I just want to comment about one thing that I noticed crossing one reading that I'm doing of the book from Marshall Berman, by Marshall Berman. I think that solid goes into air. I don't know the title in English, but it's a famous book about how modernity creates this environment which everything seems to fade away very fast. Everything that seems so solid, so concrete, becomes turns into air, into nothing very very quickly. So this modernity, this modern times, which he speaks of, and he develops his arguments by analyzing some writings from authors like Goethe, the German writer, poet, poetry, poets, German poet that wrote the Faust, and Baudelaire, also Karl Marx, and I am in a chapter when, which I am in a chapter uh, where he analyzed the rule of the city of St. Petersburg uh, in Russia, the city that was called Petrograd for some time during the Second War, and became back to St. Petersburg after the end of Soviet Union. And he analyzed the city, a city that was built. It was built by Peter the Great, Pedro o Grande, the Tsar, the Russian Tsar, that he put his name in the city, Peters, Petersburg, St. Petersburg, Petersburg City, place, something like that. And while I was reading, this chapter about St. Petersburg. I noticed that some part of the writing of he mentions an author. That's, the name is Pushkin. He mentions an author called Pushkin, a Russian author that writes a short tale called the Bronze Knights, which is a reference to the statue of Peter the Great that lies in some place in St. Petersburg, which is an homage of his great effort to build a city, a whole new city from ground zero, from scratch, and especially over a swamp. So the whole city was built over a swamp, like in the same ways that Venice and Amsterdam, cities, Western cities in Western Europe, where the place were built over water. And tragically, the author says that every 100 years there is a great flood in St. Petersburg, where the whole city is flooded, except the palace where the Tsar used to live, was to dwell. And finally, and tragically too, the last one, the last flood was in 1928. So the next flood is approaching, especially when we are facing this climate change that can provoke that, can promote this natural events. But the story that I noticed something different was this short tale about the called the Bronze Knights, written by Pushkin. In this in this tale, there is a common man, a public employee, some kind, that he just want to live his life and marry the woman he loves. And when the flood comes, when the flood comes, she dies. She dies in the flood. Her body disappears, and months later reappear in the shore. And the knight, the no sorry, the public employee, he becomes like crazy or something like that, very very angry, and he manages to defies the statue, the bronze statue of Peter, and he sees in his mind, I think, that's the way I understood, the knight defying him back, and like not chasing, but the view of the statue is always chasing him, and he promises to get back, to get even, and to revenge the death of his loved one. And that's basically the story. That is not a story of heroism. It's a story of revenge, but not accomplished revenge. It's a different way of approaching a story. The Russian literature has this kind of a thing that in this side of the world we don't expect things like that. That's why in when Hollywood translates Russian literature, they change some things. Well, speaking of Hollywood, I noticed reading that today that the movie, The Fisher King, uh, uh, directed by directed by uh, Terry Gilliam, a former member of the Monty Python group. And this in this movie, a movie with Robbie Williams, uh, and Jeff Bridges. In this movie, the character of uh, Jeff Bridges seems to be the main character of the film, being like a radio showman that when he spoke something in some time of his life, he provoked someone to do a slaughter, a killing in a bar, in the center of New York, killing a lot of yuppies, a lot of middle class workers that were there hanging out. He just shot them all and killed a lot of people. And he has this breakdown, lose his job, and then a time after he meets a homeless guy uh, that was played by Robbie Williams, and he dresses like a knight, and he seems to believe that he's in some kind of a medieval quest to find the Holy Grail or something like that, something about the night tales of the Middle Ages. And he tries to help this guy just because he discovers that this guy was in the bar where happened the shooting in the beginning of the movie, and his wife was killed by the murder. And when he finds this, he tries to help the Robin Williams character to get back together and to live a normal life. So, but in a turn of events, the character of Robin Williams actually is the central character of the story, because he sees over the night chasing him a knight a firing night, a night with fire around him, and he's terrified with this vision of the night. So I watched this movie a long time ago, a couple of times, and it's very disturbing. This kind of image that a crazy person that sees a knight chasing him, and he lost his loved one, and he's trying to recover love, and there is this kind of a superstar of the media that provokes the death of his loved ones, and in a way he's trying to revenge his loved ones by having this great threat. This is the night, but actually he was just crazy and seeing illusions. And then when I read the chapter about St. Petersburg from the book of Marshall Berman, and he speaks about this Pishkin short tale about this bronze knight. I said that's where the idea came from, because there is the same pattern. There is the tragedy of the loss of the common person, and there is the superstar that would be like the emperor, the Tsar, and the crazy man is seeing the knights attacking him in some way. Of course, the short story by the Russian writer Pishkin is more subtle, and it doesn't resolve in the way that we expect, because there is no revenge. He wants revenge. He promised revenge, like Marshall Bremen says in the way that seems that the revenge should be the Soviet Revolution later on in the Russia. Uh, but it's open to interpretation. And the movie, of course, the movie has to be more, more uh, with more action, with the knight chasing him, and he's diagnosed as a crazy person that had this loss and has to recover. But I thought it was interesting to share this kind of a uh, this origin, where the idea probably came from. I think Terry Gilliam, that's a brilliant director, a brilliant man, very intelligent man. The Monty Python group is everybody is very cult people, especially John Cleese. John Cleese is very intelligent. They probably came with this from this story and transform into this piece, this nice piece. So I love to share that with you. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe to both channels. I forgot to ask in the beginning. Don't forget to subscribe to both channels, to give us the like for the videos, all videos. You take a look at other videos from our channels, and share, subscribe, and comments, please. Okay? Thanks. Bye bye.